G'day, Caleb, is it?
Yes.
I'm David. How are
Dave.
you?
How
Nice.
you doing?
And Sam,
I'm
I'm
Sam,
presuming.
yes.
Nice to meet you. You're a very exciting time.
Yes, very exciting.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks.
It's very, very exciting. It's great for me to be a part of the journey with you guys. I've just got a few things here just to take notes and make sure everything's going to be all good. But tell me, how did you guys meet?
Well, we've known each other for quite some
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
Sammy's a little younger than me, but we went to the same school a few years apart.
Nice.
I immigrated to Australia from Germany when I was a kid.
Okay.
Very, very young.
Wow.
Born in Germany.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, so it's...
So are you sort of the first generation to be here in Australia?
Mum and Dad are full blood German.
Yeah.
I got.
And so were you the only one over here, or is Mum and Dad here as well?
Yeah,
or?
Mum and Dad are still here. We moved here when I was about 1.
Wow. Okay.
But
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
But, hence no accent.
Yeah.
Unlucky, but
No, that's
got
all
the
right.
German passport. So
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Yes. Free. You probably have a Europe passport. You can
Yeah,
get through
yeah.
everywhere. That's great.
Yeah.
Are you Australian citizen?
Yeah.
Oh,
dual
done.
citizen.
Done. That's unreal. That's
Yeah.
all right. What about you, Sam? Where are
I'm
you?
Australian.
It's Australian.
Yes.
Yes. You're like me.
Yes.
Sammy's
Yeah,
the old
true.
full blood.
True brew. Not that you're not, but that's all right.
No worries, mate.
Yeah, it is a bit like that sometimes, isn't it? Fantastic. So, you guys obviously are getting married. Any idea on exactly when and where, and have you sort of made those sort of plans yet?
Yeah, Sammy, do you want to tell about our plans?
Probably in about 8 months' time.
Okay, yeah.
I've tossed around a few wedding locations.
Yeah, Sammy's going away, aren't you?
Oh yes, in a couple of months I'll be going overseas for work for about 3 months, and I'll
Okay.
be back about 1 month before the wedding date.
Okay.
Yes.
Bit under that.
All right. Okay. No, that's awesome. Just remind me, because I will, when I go through some of the legal stuff, we will need to what I'm thinking is we may need to sort out a little bit of paperwork now if we can, or definitely before you
Yeah.
leave,
Yeah.
so that we can get that sorted. But yep.
But yeah, in terms of the date, yeah, about 8 months from now.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. So sort of thinking, I'm just sort of looking at my calendar. You're sort of thinking around that March 12th, 19th.
Yeah, somewhere around
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nothing's actually been.
No, we haven't
okay.
locked anything in yet.
All right. Great. Okay. No, that's fantastic. Fantastic. And have you have you got a venue that you're pretty sure you're going to do? Or?
Yeah, we were thinking maybe the boardwalk and things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, Andy's a bit of a mate. So
Oh, great.
he
That's
runs the joint,
perfect.
so yeah.
That's awesome. Tell me, where'd you guys meet? Obviously, you met at school, didn't you?
yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
very,
was,
very good.
Yeah, a bit of a different story ours.
Yeah.
We obviously I said we were a fair few years apart, so
Yeah.
it was after school. We met at school, but it was sort of after
Yeah.
our schooling years that we sort of connected and
Fantastic.
reconnected. And I sort of found out that Sammy actually turned into a pretty smoking.
I made it, yes.
That's awesome. No, that's fantastic. Well, what I might do is I'll talk about obviously some of the legal things that we'll need to do, and then some of the paperwork that's also with that. So just a few questions. Again, I ask this to everyone, and just for legal, you guys aren't related.
No.
And neither of you are currently married?
No.
No. That's great. Or have either of you been previously married at all?
I haven't, Sammy.
No, I
Okay.
I'm joking.
No, that's all right. The reason I just ask those questions is obviously Australian law dictates you can't marry someone in your family. Well, that's not technically true. You can't marry someone direct down the line,
Okay.
so to speak.
Yeah, sure.
And also, obviously, you can't get married to someone else if you're already married to somebody. And on one of the forms, it just says if you have previously been married.
Yep.
And there's a thing, but you guys both never been married, so it's nice and simple,
Yep.
really, really easy as well. Very good. Have you guys got some ID with you?
Yeah,
We do.
We bought our passports.
Oh, fantastic. If I can just have a look. I'm just going to look just to make sure that on the NIM, Notice of Intent to Marry, we just need to make sure, and it's partly for me but also for you guys, that I see the right documents, so that the correct names, the original name. You know how sometimes somebody's name is Joe, but actually on their birth certificate it's like,
Philip.
yeah, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
just with some of those, like this part, the passport thing's perfect. So they all look like they're totally in order, which is fantastic. Great. What I will do is I'll just get my paperwork sorted here. This is what we call the NIM, or the Notice of Intent to Marry. This form is actually really important. Basically, what it states is it goes for saying, okay, these are the people that want to get married. This is their identity, who their parents are, if they have been married before or not, if they've been divorced, etc., etc. If their marriage may have been annulled, all of those sorts of things. Now, this form needs to be filled out anywhere from 18 months to 1 month before the wedding.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
and that's not just 4 weeks.
Yep.
It's like a full month.
Okay.
So
Oh,
like
yeah,
if you're getting married on the 19th of March, it needs to be in no later than the 15th of Feb.
Okay.
And I need to see that you've signed it, etc.
Yeah, cool.
So otherwise, we need to go and ask for special exemption for that. And the only way that you get them is one of 5 things: medical reason, if you're in the military, and there's 3 other that I can't quite think of right now. But I don't think that'll be an issue. And that's partly, I think, definitely before you go overseas, if we can get this all filled out.
Yeah.
Simple little bit of paperwork should be right to do today.
Yeah. So the little bits and pieces on there is just, so you won't have to worry about so much anything on there.
Awesome.
It'll just be on this side.
Yeah.
So obviously the bride and the groom, just your last names. Now those will again need to be the exact same ones that are on your birth certificate or on your passport.
Okay.
It's so that when we send this in to the birth, deaths and marriages, so that all the paperwork goes through really well and really smoothly,
Cool.
we know it's all good. Now this is official certificate of marriage. This actually goes with it as well.
Okay.
We'll fill some of this out now, but this will be one as well as this one, and your official thing
Yes.
will be signed on the day.
Yeah,
and,
cool.
and
Yeah.
we'll go from there, which is fantastic.
Easy.
Have you got any questions about any of it? I know it's a lot of information.
No, it's not too bad. It's all right.
So I'm thinking if we can maybe even start some of that before we head off today.
Yeah.
If you guys have time, if not, we'll
that's
just
fine.
organise another time to sort all of that out, and we can go from there.
No worries.
Great, perfect. All right, this is another part that I need to give you, and it's just basically a marriage support thing. So if there are any times that you guys may need marriage counselling, some extra support, you have any other questions, I actually can't do that for you.
Okay.
I can just direct you to some of the right things. So
Yeah.
part of my responsibility and how I'm kept accountable for being a celebrant is making sure that you guys have a copy of that. So that'll be yours to take home, read about it, all of that sort of stuff, and that way we know that that's all done with that as well. So that'll be really, really good.
Cool.
Changing the name.
Yeah, yeah. And all of this stuff will be part of that whole process. If there is something, this is why it's so important, if there is one thing that's messed up, or if you do make a mistake on
Yeah.
that NIM, just let me know because I'll get you another one.
Oh, okay, good.
Because it
Yeah.
really does need to be as perfect as we can get it.
Yeah.
Like, we can't cross out a name and then rewrite it.
Okay,
It
yeah.
actually needs to be done perfectly.
Okay.
And in block letters,
Block
and
letters,
and with a black pen, I think it says.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that way we know it's all been done. Now, don't actually sign that until you I mean, we can fill it all out today and we can both sign it. It's just I need to witness your signature
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
when you go to do that.
Yeah.
No worries.
And we go from there. A couple of other sort of things I'll talk about now. For me, part of my role as a celebrant will be what I need to say during the ceremony. Now we can wrap it however we want to, but there are three sort of things that I need to say. One is that I'm duly authorised by law to solemnise marriage according to law, and before you were joining in marriage, etc. It sort of goes on to say those sorts of things, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. The other one is Section 45 of the Marriage Act is another part that I say I call upon the people's or persons present today to witness that, and then you guys would repeat that as well. And the other thing is marriage, according to Australian law, is the union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of all others, voluntarily entered into for life.
Yeah.
The other one, I will just read this out just so that you're aware of it. It says, I am duly authorised by law to solemnise marriages according to law. Before you were joined in marriage, in my presence and in the presence of these witnesses, I am to remind you of the solemn and binding nature of the relationship into which you are now about to enter.
Yeah.
The reason this is really important is I had an incident, not actually me, but another chaplain, a celebrant, I should say, of mine, had an incident where they did a wedding and went through all the process, did all the legal documents, all good, and then he got a phone call the next day and they said, oh, look, so we've made a big mistake, can we just cancel all the paperwork? And I can't actually do that. So, because then they have to then go through the whole process of now getting a divorce.
Oh my goodness.
And there's a lot of money in that. Like, you would think, oh, it's just easy to rip it up. No, I can't actually do that. So,
After.
yeah, I know, pretty. You'd think you
All
would
that
know that.
money.
Yeah, you-
Exactly. All of that money thrown down the gurgler. So, exactly. Right. So, I've spoken about the relationship supports. Have you guys thought about what you would like said or done in the ceremony?
Yeah, my parents being German and myself being a German citizen, there's a few things in our culture that I would traditional culture that I'd like to include.
Okay, fantastic.
One of them being a log sawing ceremony.
Okay.
Yeah,
So tell me about what's the significance there. What does that?
So the log sawing ceremony is conducted by Sammy and myself as the bride and groom, and it signifies our first challenge in marriage.
Yeah. Okay.
To work together as a team to saw a log in half. Literally, we're going to saw a log in half.
Wow.
I'll be on one end of the saw and she'll be on the other. So it's this big long one
Yep.
with two handles
Getting
at each
through
end.
that problem.
Right.
We're going to overcome at least one
log.
thing very soon after we're married.
Fantastic.
So, during the ceremony, we'd love to include that.
Okay.
And
Yeah, your parents did
Fantastic.
that for their wedding, and
yeah, it's a
that's
traditional
great.
German thing.
Yeah. So, is that something that you want me to organise? Like, do you want me to organise the log and the saw and that,
no,
or
no.
do you guys? Will you guys
no.
have someone who do that?
Yeah, we have access to it. We'll use the same. We're actually using the
the
same
same
saw that
saw.
Mum and
Oh, really?
in their
That's
ceremony,
awesome.
So it's a bit of an heirloom. So
That's fantastic.
we'll just get any random
Okay.
log. I think we'll be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go and lob down a tree.
Yeah.
No, we won't do that. But yeah, no, that'll be great. Okay,
cool.
very good. Have you guys thought about your vows and what you might want to say to each other? Are you thinking of doing something
Yeah.
generic, or you're thinking about doing your own? I mean, I've even got some. If you're not sure, I do have some suggestions here,
Cool.
which they're just ones that I have done. At other different weddings and things. There might be some things that you've seen at other weddings you think, that's really cool, I'd like to implement that.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. We'll have a read of these anyway. I think we'll want to say like our own vows.
Okay.
Whether they're like a version of this or not. This is really helpful, by the way.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
has
So,
been very helpful.
if you guys want to do your own vows,
Yeah.
what I will probably need to do is once we work out the exact date,
Yeah.
and especially probably because you're going to be away
Yes, yeah.
up until a month out, we probably I'd really appreciate if I can have them, a week or a week, at least a week and a half before,
Okay.
just so that. If there is anything that we may need to look at and tweak, we still have some time
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
to do that. Now, I would actually probably even go so far as to say at least 2 weeks, probably.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Just knowing,
Gives us a deadline.
yeah, March is a pretty busy time for weddings.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I just want to make sure that we've got plenty of time, that if there are any things that we need to just
Yeah.
tweak or adjust,
I'd
because it is
like
your
that.
day.
Like if I'm saying I vow to marry you, Sam, but I vow also to marry another woman at the same time.
Yes,
So
yes.
stuff like that. Is
Yeah,
that what
yeah.
you're saying?
Yes, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And also, sometimes, I totally get it, but sometimes what people think is really romantic and great, and I'm all for, being
Yeah.
very open to that,
Yeah.
sometimes doesn't quite work
Yeah. Cool.
with
yeah,
Bit
the
too
way it's sort.
personal, or-
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
So just sort of being a bit of a sounding board of going, okay, this is a way I interpret. Is that what you're wanting to
Yeah,
convey,
yeah.
etc. Little things like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, that'll be helpful. That'll be good.
That'll work really well.
And yeah, it'll give us a deadline so that we have to have them done
Yeah,
by a certain day. So we're
exactly.
not staying up the night before.
No.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And I will be pretty forthright in making sure that they happen,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it will be an important part of that
Sure.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
The other thing as well, and we may need to organise another time, ideally before you head overseas.
Yeah.
I'm presuming you're thinking of having, the date, the venue and all that locked in before then.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Great.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll
Um,
have everything done, hopefully.
Just so that we can, I would even love if, and I'm happy to go out there by myself, but even just go and have a look at the venue, just to sort of see, because there will be some things that we just need to be aware of.
Okay.
For example, if you're at a winery, some of the things you may need to think about are, do you have elderly people
yeah.
coming?
Access for
Do you know what I mean?
wheelchairs and
Wheelchairs.
stuff.
Yeah.
What's the venue like for public liability? Do they have public liability insurance? So if
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
hurts themselves at your wedding because of something, we just need to be, really aware
Yeah.
and smart
Yeah.
Yeah,
about a lot of that too,
Yeah.
Awesome.
which is good.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
head out to the venue together
Yeah,
when we.
it's at the
lock in.
boardwalk, wasn't it? You said,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Is that
so
what you're thinking, or?
It's basically we just need to finalise a couple of just lock
Yep.
it in pretty much with Andy. So, but yeah, we'll probably
Great.
It'll probably be there.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll have all the appropriate stuff anyway
Yeah,
there,
they do
and
have
it shouldn't be a problem. So
Yeah.
that'd be fantastic. Now, is there anyone? The other thing I was going to ask you actually is, who do your witnesses want to be? Now, usually what happens is, the best man and the maid of honour,
Yeah.
or matron of honour, are the witnesses.
Yeah.
By law, we need to have at least 2 witnesses
Yeah.
at the ceremony. I'm not sure how many people you're thinking of inviting.
Oh, maybe 150.
Okay, so it's going to be a fairly...
Yeah.
no, that'll be fine. We just probably need to think about that, because actually on the NIM,
Yep.
they will need to be noted as
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I think it's the NIM or the other document there with
sure.
some other witnesses on
Yeah.
who's, because they will also sign your some of the other certificates and
Yeah,
bits and
yeah.
pieces like that. So
Yeah, cool. Well, it'll be my best man and
Yeah.
great,
Jamie's best girl, maiden of honour.
great.
Yeah.
That'll be perfect as well. Few other bits and pieces spoken about that.
Hold on 2 seconds. I'm
yeah.
just going to check my couch back here.
No worries. Okay, just while I was just thinking then, I probably didn't explain this well enough too. The certificate of marriage, so you've got the NIM, which needs to be filled out a month before. Certificate of marriage, again, is the same sort of things. This is one thing that will be signed on the day as well. And this is another one that's actually signed as well. So you'll do a fair few signatures on the day.
Yeah.
There'll be
Yeah.
3 sets.
Okay.
There'll be a certificate, there'll be this one, that one, and we'll sort of go from there. But again, what happens at the end is I actually send off the notice of intent to marry and the official certificate of marriage off to, I think it's actually in this one as well, certificate of marriage, off to the birth, deaths and marriages where they get it all sorted, and you guys will take home the actual certificate that you can frame up or
Yeah.
do whatever that you
yeah.
want to do with
Cool.
that as well.
The pretty one.
That's right. That's right. So I will hang on to these for now.
Yep.
And what I will do is we'll copy these over and we'll make sure that they're right as well.
Cool.
So sorry, I should have explained that a little bit
all right.
better, but that's
That's
okay. The only other thing, what we'll probably do is we'll talk a little bit more. Maybe we'll probably organise a meeting once you've booked the thing, maybe even a few weeks before you head off, if that's all right, just so that we can go through some of the things. And it'd be great to get your email, just so that I can communicate if I need to communicate with you or with Caleb about different things that will be. I will probably do up a bit of my general, this is how it'll go sort of thing. I'll send that through for you guys to approve. If you're happy with that, you can take that out, put this, hey, I want to have this in, want that out. The only things that, again, I must say is those 3 specific things. I'm duly authorised, marriage according to Australian law, and
So if we wanted you to say, like, I don't know if what we would want you to say, but if we wanted to add something that you would announce, that's totally fine.
Yeah, totally fine.
Cool.
And that actually brings me to another thought too. Being your German heritage, did you want an interpreter there?
Well, one of my family members will probably interpret. I mean, most of my family speak German and English.
Yeah.
And even in Germany.
Yeah.
So we probably won't need one, but I better just check with mum and dad to see if there's any non-English speakers. I don't think there will be, but we won't require it until, if we do, I'll get one of the family members.
Okay. Yeah, because the reason I asked that is part of the impediment of marriage is making sure that both parties actually understand what they are committing themselves to.
Gotcha.
So because you've grown up here, you understand English pretty well, or Aussie. So it's really for cases like, someone who's marrying someone from overseas, they don't speak English super well. They will have an interpreter there so that we can guarantee that both parties know exactly what they are about to do and all of that sort of thing. As long as you and anyone in your bridal party, especially probably your best man who's going to be the witness, as long as they're...
He's a full-blood Australian. So
Okay, perfect. No, that'll be great. Very good. Oh, rehearsal. Were you guys thinking about having a rehearsal?
Yeah. We'll have I think we'll have a rehearsal the night before. Just so that it's fresh in everyone's minds.
Right. No, that's probably what I would recommend
Yes,
too.
the girls know where to walk.
Yeah. If you can, try and make sure that all of the key people are going to be there. So if you're wanting anyone to say, some people want to have someone come up and say scripture, someone say prayer, someone to say a poem,
Yeah.
someone to sing or something like that. It'd be really great to have, all of your bridesmaids, all of your men there, probably your parents too, especially probably your father, who I presume is going to
Yeah,
walk
he's
down
gonna
the
walk
aisle.
me down.
So that we can go through that, and we can actually do a full-blown rehearsal. So,
Yeah.
any of the music that you're wanting to walk down to, have someone who's going to say, we can run through if there's any logistics venue-wise that we may need to tweak a little bit, adjust here and there, etc., etc.
Yep. That's sounds good. We'll make sure they're all there.
Perfect. No, that's really good. All right. Well, the only other thing I'll give to you guys is just my invoice and things like that. So
cool.
my charge, as I said in the email, is $500 for the wedding, and that's basically to cover. I will look after all the legal stuff. That's what you're paying me to do, so you won't have to worry about any of that.
Cool.
I'll look after all of that. So I think that's on there. So just keep that one with you. There's I will also. I haven't got it on me, unfortunately. I really apologise for that, but I will send you through. If you guys have a complaint or you want a refund or whatever, I've got my refund policy. I've got all that sort of stuff.
Sure,
It won't happen, but I just,
Yeah.
I'm pretty easy to work with and that sort of stuff. But if you do need something, that way you've got it there, the process.
Just email it through if you like.
Yeah.
Just so we have it on file.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. So that's all that. The other thing I was just going to arrange. Oh, actually, the last thing I was going to say is, and I need to say this: if at the end of obviously the service now, I'm not going to ask you guys to sit down and do it straight away and all that sort of stuff. But I like to do a bit of a review of what I have. So, are you guys planning on videoing your wedding or?
Yeah.
We'll have a wedding video. Yeah.
Fantastic. I am happy to pay for, but I would love a copy just for my benefit, just so that I can
have one.
myself.
That's totally fine.
And the other thing I might do as well is in with your certificate of marriage and the other bits and pieces that I will give to you, I will actually put in a little review form.
Okay, cool.
So that way, if there's anything during our process and stuff that, because I'd love to get better at it too and just make sure that everyone's happy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd love it if you could fill it out and send it back to me.
Sure.
That would be phenomenal. I'll put the self-address on the website. It's just an affiliate form sticking in the mailbox and
Easy.
things like that.
Yeah.
And I might, like, if you're a technology people, I can do it by email too. So whichever way is probably easier for you guys.
Email.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that for you.
Fantastic. Very good. All right. Well, I think the only other thing to do is to really clarify maybe another meeting time. What are we? 8 months out. And you're going to be away from sort of basically 4 months out, aren't you? So probably in the next. And when do you guys think that you'll sort of have a few things locked down by?
Probably end of the month.
Oh, end of this month. Okay.
I reckon we can knock it out.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Well, why don't we aim for say 2 months around September? What are you guys?
Yeah.
So I'm presuming you don't go away till October. Okay.
Yeah.
So September. Why don't we say first week of September?
Sounds good.
All
Yep.
right.
Let's lock it in.
Any particular days suit you guys? Is it
Maybe a
time, same
weekend.
venue? Okay. Yeah.
Well, do you want to go out to see the venue with us, or is that this meeting, or
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can do
Yeah,
it
let's
both,
do that.
yeah.
We'll
We could just
kill two birds
have
with
a-
one stone.
have a coffee? It's a cafe during the day, so
Okay,
we can do it
perfect.
Saturday morning.
Perfect. All right. So Saturday the 5th.
Yeah, that sounds good to
All right.
me.
Well, I'll lock it in. What 10 a.m. 9:30. What
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Yeah, today.
10 a.m.
Great. All right. Well, I'll just pop that down now. 10 a.m. and that'll be perfect.
Cool.
I'll give you my card as well.
Yeah.
If I can find it. I've got it here. And that way you guys can. I think it's in with the notice of intent to marry.
Oh,
Awesome.
yes.
So you guys can actually, email me anywhere between there and there. What I will get you to do now though is just with your passports and this sort of stuff is just start to write out and fill out that name So it's just, if we can do your name, your names, we'll do your date of birth.
Yep.
Probably, I mean,
Well, this will be applicable to me, born outside of Australia.
Yeah, so, and just basically how long you've been here. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
said you were how old are you now?
25.
25, okay, so yeah, so just say 24 years.
Yep.
And because you were born, do you know exactly where you were born in Germany? Does it say on your birth certificate? Have you got your birth certificate?
Yeah.
We'll just pop that down, and just so that we know that there as well. So yeah, we can do that, and then we're
Easy.
pretty well good to go.
Cool.
Do you
Sounds good.
have any questions?
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Alright.
You've done really good.
It's
all the best.
Yeah, it's probably a lot of information overload. So
Yeah.
again, if you have any questions, you've got my phone number.
Yep.
Please don't hesitate to ring. My email address will be on the card there.
Yep.
So you can email me. I'm happy to go through some of those legal requirements again and why we need to do what we do. All of those sorts of things. And yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Sounds good, David.
Awesome. Great. All right.
Thanks,
mate.
It's great to meet you, Caleb.
Thanks.
Sam.
Thanks
Thanks
for
so much for
coming.
your time.
Yeah.
And as I said, if you have any other questions or anything, please let me know.
Yeah, no worries.
No worries.
Great. Thanks very much, guys. See you later.
See ya.
No.